On a Tuesday morning, it is the Ring View podcast. My
Are you in
name,
the future?
yes,
It's
because
still Monday night with me,
I am on the East Coast, sir. Okay, it's
and I am
two,
on the best coast.
and you're on the West Coast. 6 footers, you want to enjoy the nice palm. We don't.
Hey, 6'1".
See, this is why. This is what I tell you is that you really have to stop rubbing it in. You could have literally just said, "I'm a 6 footer." You don't have to be one of those people that say, "Oh, I'm 6'1.5," or I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. That makes
No,
you
because
obnoxious.
because people who claim that they're 6 feet, they're really like 5'9" to 5'10". If you're specific like me, like 6'1", you are legit 6'1". If you were 6'3", you would say you're 6'3". If you're 5'7", you're saying you're 5'10".
That is true. I've put many inches on my height over the years. Especially like my favorite part of going to the DMV is that they never weigh you or take your height. They just ask you, "Hey, how tall are you?" 5'10". 5'10". How much do you weigh? Oh, $190. Come on. Lies. All lies. All
And
lies.
and then they just give you this look
Yeah.
of
They give
sure you
this
are as they type it in.
they give you this side eye, and it's just like, all right, sure, pal, you're 190. You know what I mean? It's just, or this is why a lot of times I wear boots. I wear boots because I want to look taller. Okay.
So Skilo wrote a song for you.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
What?
I'm not that short.
You wish you were a little bit taller. You wish you were a
A
baller.
little bit, little bit. Although I remember when I was in high school, I was attracted to all the tall girls. Like I would go after all the girls that were on the basketball team for a reason. Because I was just like, if we're gonna have kids, then my future looks bright for that child to be able to do the things that I couldn't do because of height. So. But how are you, sir? How are you doing? You have a big week coming up. It's
I got a big week is happening, man.
Yeah.
WrestleMania week. I head out to Vegas on Wednesday.
Got Sin City Slam.
I got Sin City Slam. I got Yes and Wrestling. I got watch along stuff. I'm gonna have these I listen to my conscience t-shirts for. I mean, you could already get them at prowrestlingtees.com, but I will have them in person in Vegas.
A great design. I wonder who designed it for
you. He got canceled recently, so you don't
want
to.
Did he really?
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't want to know the designer.
Seems like a great guy to me. Okay?
Nah. Debatable.
We're gonna get into your stuff though. We're gonna promo the hell out of it.
Yes, we are.
We love shameless plugs on the Ring View podcast. So we're gonna discuss SmackDown. We're going to discuss the Raw Go Home show. We are going to do our WrestleMania predictions and possibly even preview what we think will happen on SmackDown on Friday as well. So I said to you, sir, I believe it was today or some other day, I said, you are going to intro this show. Because I had my rant last week. No. We're not starting with me. We're starting with you. So I'd like to know what you thought about Pat McAfee's promo number 2. Because you, sir, and the reason why I wanted you to start it off is because, I like Pat McAfee. Oh, you don't really hate Pat McAfee. It's more about who sent you. I don't co-sign to that. Okay? I don't co-sign to that. And I want to hear your thoughts about the worst promo I've ever heard. Okay, you go ahead.
You want to know how I feel?
Yes.
That promo was really, really, really bad. It was really
on a scale
bad.
Of 1 to 10.
That L.
Listen, yeah, go ahead, because I don't want to cut you off. I want you.
No, you're good. So So here are the few things that really stick out to me.
Yeah.
First off, and they're going to be jumbled and kind of mixed around, so bear with me with this. I love how we start with Cody outside and Aldis telling him McAfee's not here yet, but he's been told by other people that you cannot lay your hands on him. And then Jelly Roll comes out to try to like be superhero. Man, I'm mad at him too. Oh, I can't put my hands on him? I'm not a contracted wrestler. Why can't I? That makes no sense. But okay, that's what the story is. And Jelly Roll is now busy motivating Cody. I mentioned it before. I enjoy Jelly Roll's babyface promos.
Yeah.
The problem is if you have too much of the same thing, the crowd will turn on you.
Correct.
This crowd is ready to turn on Jelly Roll.
Oh, yes.
And that's no fault to him. That's just getting thrown in the same position every damn time he's there.
He is in the line of sight.
Right. So Cody is listening to the boss and won't put his hands on Pat McAfee. McAfee shows up, and you know he's a heel because he's wearing sunglasses indoors. And immediately, Jelly Roll puts his hands on him, a direct refusal of following a violation. He should be fined and suspended. Oh, wait, he's not under contract. But he shoves him up against the wall. Aldis or whoever eventually get him off, and McAfee's just laughing at him. McAfee comes to the ring and cuts a very long promo. And about 10% of the promo was about Cody.
This promo, I think this segment itself was like 22 minutes long.
This promo, honestly, I will say this. There are two small pieces of positivity I can do in the duration of this whole thing. And they're very light. Very light.
Well, go ahead.
Very, very light. One, I liked the comebacks that Pat McAfee was throwing at CM Punk if this feud had to do with CM Punk. Because his responses, that was good. Like, I wouldn't be opposed if somehow McAfee was getting in the face of Punk for something not WrestleMania-wise, but like for something with two of them, and that was the type of back and forth. Oh, that's pretty good. Punk has nothing to do with this feud, so I don't know why he did it. Then, in the midst of that, his big announcement, 25% off for Saturday only. Why? Because night 2 is going to be garbage. Don't watch night 2. Your tickets are so far down. And I mentioned this last week, how, you're trying to do like the Trump administration thing with Saturday Night Live where, if you are acting like you're trolling yourself, then everyone's going to laugh and, that's funny. Oh, you know what? Okay, I will buy tickets tonight too. It's not working. That backfired royally.
They just cleared over 40,000 for night 2.
Where last year I had the numbers last week. I don't have them in front of me. Let me pull it up. WrestleMania 41 attendance. Night 1 last year had almost 61,500. So they're 2/3 of the way to what they had last year.
Right.
Likewise, night 2 was just over 63,000. I think they're at like 42 and change for that.
Barely over 40,000.
Right. So it is by far, if you look up in their history of two night WrestleManias, it's not even close to be it's the lowest, like, and by a mile.
Yep.
So he's trying to promote 25% off and thinking it's a big deal. Thanks to the guys at Dodge for hooking us up with this discount. Last month, they had a 31.6% discount for Austin 316 Day. And you're trying to hype this up. This is like the equivalent of how every episode of Raw and SmackDown, there's a coupon for WWEshop.com for that day.
Right.
And that's exactly what you're trying to do with this. So that is just garbage. And then he's just talking everything down. Somehow Randy Orton is still at the moment nowhere to be seen. Cody finally comes out and starts talking to him and lays truths like what we talked about last week on, hey, you brought up the Attitude Era. Randy Orton wasn't even in the Attitude Era. Like, he's telling him all these things. And McAfee, who in this situation is supposed to be a manager. Am I correct on that?
You are correct, sir.
As someone who works as a manager, if you have a top babyface getting in your face and your associate that you're managing is not around, you should not be getting closer to him laughing.
You cower.
You cower. You run and hide because he's about to kill you. Now, his escape for that was, he's been instructed that he can't lay his hands on me. What's stopping him from doing it? He's done it before. Why wouldn't he defy it? So that alone, that again is just a joke. And then Randy Orton takes out Jelly Roll backstage. And then this distracts Cody, and McAfee clocks him and takes him down. So Cody cannot touch McAfee, but McAfee, it's totally fine to attack Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Make that make sense. Randy then comes down. They start beating him down. McAfee's cheering him on. And then, God bless Hulk Jelly Roll Hogan for somehow getting back up and willing his way down like all the top superstar baby faces will do to an ovation that no one heard. And eventually he gets taken out again. I don't remember by which one. And then Cody gets clocked with the belt. And then who is the one holding the belt up at the end of the segment? It's friggin' Pat McAfee holding the title. He's the one carrying the title. He then calls out, huh?
Did you say Pat McAfee or David Arquette? Who's that?
Oh, they're the same guy.
Okay. Cool.
He then calls out IWC and Marks, which, by the way, more than half of your audience has no idea what those terms mean. And he kept the belt. The title was on McAfee's show today. Now, I mentioned there were two things with a very, very, very small grain of salt that I was okay with in this. I mentioned the one with McAfee and Punk, if that was the actual feud. The other very, very tiny thing was every time McAfee was on backstage, on screen with Orton, Aleister Black was lurking behind. Something with Aleister Black is happening in all this. And this is my one saving grace in some hopes that this turns into Aleister Black suddenly emerging after Mania to be a number one contender and taking this title from either one of them. I don't know how, I don't know why, but he's there for a reason.
Get the new House of Black in order.
Whatever. I don't care. So like that's my one saving grace of, okay, Aleister, please save us from this. Because this I'm back and forth on what was worse, this or the promo last week, because they were both so bad.
I think this was worse than last week.
And again, how does this drive people to want to watch? And by the way, I don't know if you heard, two things that happened on ESPN this morning, two different mentions during the Get Up this morning. One, Stephen A. Smith said during the show, now who knows how much truth there is behind whatever Stephen A. Smith says, but he said WWE approached him to be involved in Angle and he turned it down. Which means they probably wanted Stephen A. Smith to be a part of this as well.
Probably instead of Jelly Roll, it would have been Stephen A. Smith.
Maybe, but
Because you have the Pat McAfee.
would you have had Stephen A. Smith as the face?
Probably.
That would be worse than Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, they did a list, and I'm assuming it was a Stephen A. Smith list of their favorite feuds going into WrestleMania, and number one was Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton with Pat McAfee. Shocker.
Right.
They are trying to push so hard for the ESPN audience to be like, hey, you like Pat McAfee? He's involved in this. You should buy it. Or you should go.
Do you ever heard of Pat McAfee? Great. You want to watch this wrestling thing? No, we don't.
So I know there are other things that I've probably missed because I've done the best I could to block this out of my memory.
No. You pretty much nailed everything. I think that even if you did block some things out of your memory, it was for a reason, because that's how the brain copes with trauma. So that's good that you can be able to block those things out of your memory because they were so horrific. Now, I am going to agree with 95% of what you said, but I didn't like the Punk thing at all. I think that was garbage. I think that
I like that it was a good response to what Punk said.
Yeah.
But again, there was no need for it because he has nothing to do with the feud.
My biggest thing about Pat McAfee that we've seen over the last 2 weeks is that he is the definition of cosplay wrestler. Because when you hear somebody speak, no one speaks like that in wrestling.
Yep.
He is literally trying way too hard to portray something. I can't even tell you what character he's trying to portray because nobody has ever been displayed on camera like that. So I don't know who he's trying to imitate. But wherever you learn that type of cadence, it's terrible. And it's not believable. And it puts people to sleep. And it infuriates people because whatever tone you're using, it's not working. And what I've heard in regards to the dirt sheets is that he went off the cuff again. They didn't give him a script. So they feel that Pat McAfee can just go off the cuff and say whatever he wants in a wrestling ring. That does not work. You do not have the experience to be able to do that, especially when you're not in favor. You see, this is not Pat McAfee's NXT, right? It's not the NXT version of Pat McAfee where people were just like, oh, Pat McAfee's here. Oh, my God. Well, what is he going to say about Adam Cole now? People were invested in that Pat McAfee. This is not the Pat McAfee that came to Michael Cole's defense against Gunther. This is not that Pat McAfee. This is a guy that has overstayed his welcome. When he was on commentary, people were getting tired of Pat McAfee. When the whole thing happened with him and what's my man's name? Oh, the commentator that got pushed to NXT.
Corey Graves.
Corey Graves. That's when things started to shift in regards to the IWC, which is the internet wrestling community for people who don't know. That's when people started to say, I don't like this anymore because you're pushing non-wrestling stuff into my wrestling program. We don't like this anymore. It's okay to have it as a special feature or a special appearance here or there. I don't want it to be a bug. This is now becoming a bug. And that's the problem, is that you told people you're going to go away, and then all of a sudden now you're injected into the biggest main event that this company should have ever had in regards to story. We're not talking about match. We're just talking about the story that has been told over the 20 plus years of these guys' careers. These guys have a combined almost 50 years of wrestling experience between them. And you're trying to tell me that we need Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll to be able to tell that story or sell the story? And then you had a chance.
Oh, you got don't you got Stephanie McMahon in there too. Don't forget about her.
That's Stephanie McMahon in there. Guys, stop it. Like, come on now. Then you had so much backlash from last week, right? That you could have literally called an audible. You could have been able to get out of this no problem. But you double down and allow him to start your program off. Like, people want to see Pat McAfee. Like, I don't know what's happening with SmackDown, but I just believe in my heart of hearts that Triple H looked at the actual like format of the show and just threw it behind his head and just said, guys, just go out there and do whatever the hell you want because it doesn't matter anyway. We cannot save this. It's not salvageable. It's not. No, there's nothing.
I got news for you. I got news for you. And obviously we'll be getting into Raw shortly, but the very beginning of the show where Roman mentioned Pat McAfee during his promo.
Yeah.
This McAfee involvement is deeper than just this Cody-Randy match.
Yeah.
It's going to get even bigger after Mania.
It's heading to Raw.
It's going to be on all shows. It's going to be on all of them.
They are going to, I swear I know what's happening. I swear. They are going to do this invasion NWO type of angle that's not going to work in 2026. Because you have that guy selling it. No one wants to see Pat McAfee. I have never had this type of feeling towards anybody in wrestling in regards to I just want them to disappear. Like, I want them to literally like combust in the ring and just disappear. League of Shadows, smoke comes and they're not there anymore. That's what I want. I want Pat McAfee to disappear from wrestling and never come back. This has been the worst build for a WrestleMania that I can remember. And it didn't have to be this way. You literally had great feuds all over the place. All over the place. Stephanie, Liv, Dom, Finn, Fatu, you got Drew, you got Punk, so many great feuds, and none of us care because of the build of some of these, and you then put the shit sprinkles on the cake with Pat McAfee. Doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter anymore. I feel the most bad for Cody Rhodes is because I don't know what Cody Rhodes did to Ari Emanuel. I have no idea what Cody Rhodes did to The Rock. I have no idea what Cody Rhodes did to anybody but just be a passionate wrestling fan, a good employee, a good face of your company, and they just say, well, let's go ahead and take his WrestleMania match from him. Then the fans had to say, fuck no.
Well, no, they know. He started AEW. That's why.
Yeah, right.
That's the reason. It's dumb.
Has to be.
That's exactly it. That's exactly what it is.
Is that how dare you get this popular when you literally created our rival? So now we're going to make sure that we step on you because we don't think you're a big deal. So we need to put somebody else in there to make you look like a big deal. Not realizing that without Cody, you don't have the meteoric rise of what WWE was over the last 4 years. He helped do that. I'm not saying that he was the only reason, but he was one of the main reasons.
Yes, he was.
So again, why do we need this shit?
Because Ari Emanuel wants it, and ESPN wants it.
Ari Emanuel doesn't know wrestling.
No kidding.
Wrestling. So I need and tonight was a very, very, very good. I think you knew that Punk's promo. He said, Triple H said, go out there and do your thing, because there was nothing outside of what you said. Roman mentioned whatever it was. There was nothing. So that was one shot that we wanted to give you and make sure we tell you how much this shit sucks. So I'm done with it. Let's move on.
Well, I do want to just point out there's one comment that we got, which I also completely agree with. You're feeling pity for Cody Rhodes. What about Randy Orton? He's the real victim here. You're absolutely right. He is a complete victim in all this as well, because all of a sudden he is the third wheel.
Fiddle. Yeah.
He is turned into the third wheel.
Fiddle. Listen, whoever said this, who said this? This was I don't know what the hell that says.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say the name, because I knew I was going to butcher pronouncing it.
For the comment here. We will go ahead and go talk about that. You're absolutely right, because Randy Orton, who's the legend, who's going after title number 15, is now an afterthought. You have Pat McAfee with the fucking title on his show. Mm-hmm. Why? Yeah. Why? Where's Randy? Can we hear from Randy? Like, even having Pat McAfee in this stupid ass feud now, what would have made it a lot more serious?
If Randy took out Pat McAfee on SmackDown.
That, or if he would have dragged out Arn Anderson, or if he would have dragged out Brandy Rhodes. He would have took her off that bus. And that's what would have made it serious, because Pat McAfee can be the mouth of the South, while Randy is just doing a whole bunch of maniacal shit in the background. But you have Pat McAfee carry a promo when you have Randy Orton there. We don't care about Pat McAfee. We just that's what I'm saying. We don't care. I remember when we were having our predictions and you were like, oh my goodness, I hope it's not Shane McMahon. I hope it's. We didn't even think of Pat McAfee. You know why? Because it would not make any fucking sense. And I'm sorry for cursing so much, but I can't help it. This is rubbish. It's absolute garbage.
And another comment, kind of going with what we were, we mentioned this last week, how Danny Huckins, PW, according to Meltzer, the main event for Backlash is going to be Jelly Roll and Cody versus McAfee and Orton. Meaning Orton's going to beat Cody, because McAfee's been saying if Orton loses, he'll leave forever. So which he has been saying that. They've already spoiled the finish.
Right. They already gave their hand up. They already showed their hand that Orton is going to win title number 15, which means that we literally have a replay of WrestleMania last year. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
They literally took the same exact shit and remixed it. You can't make this up.
Yep. I mean,
listen,
what do you want me to tell you?
Last thing we'll talk about before we move on.
Yeah.
Is that history tells you when you run a building back to back, it's very rare that you can be able to equal or surpass the numbers that you did the first time.
Yep.
Unless the first time the build wasn't that great, and then the second time the build is better, and then you increase the numbers. You never go here and then go higher than that. It doesn't happen in the same building. So I don't know who thought that running Vegas 2 years in a row was going to give you the same numbers. These people are stupid. These people are really stupid. This is why I am somebody who doesn't, I don't need to like sugarcoat shit. We have stupid people that run businesses. Just because you're rich, just because you have a lot of influence, just because you have doesn't mean you're smart. These people at Endeavor and TKO, they are not smart people. They are stupid. For anybody to think that you are going to run Vegas and be successful again, you are an idiot. That's it.
Oh, come on. You don't want to go back to the same spot and then pay even more money?
Just dumb. Danny,
I was all ready to go to New Orleans this year. I was excited.
Everybody was. See some beads, if you know what I mean, right? Take it with a grain of salt. Meltzer is senile in his own age, still waiting for that backlash to take place at the top. I mean, look, we can be able to talk about Meltzer all you want, but we know that this is garbage.
And Danny, you're dragging. I just talked about this 10 minutes ago, man. I just talked about the only good thing with that was Aleister Black and Zelina.
Yeah, we did bring that up. So, hopefully we can be able to get more Aleister Black on our TV and less Pat McAfee. There's also somebody that I would like to see less as well on SmackDown too, but you probably already know who that is. Let's go ahead and move on. What else are we covering on SmackDown?
Well, we should also touch on this Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, Little Yachty segment.
That's what I was talking about.
I know exactly who you were talking about, so that's why I was bringing it up.
Off my TV, Josh. It's Sami Zayn. Get him out of here. Listen, it's over for him. All right, put him down in the mid card and let him stay there. He should not be anywhere near the top of the mid card. I don't want to see him. This act is old. It's over, and nobody wants to see it anymore. Okay, this match is not gonna go over well at WrestleMania. They're gonna boo the hell out of Sammy. They're gonna cheer the hell out of Trick. I hope that it's a squash match and we get the hell out of here. I don't need this to be a 15-minute match. There's no reason for it because I don't want to see Sami Zayn on my TV. Go ahead.
You know how much I love Sammy.
Yes,
you know how much I pull for Sammy.
That's your
guy. You know how much I have been against the thought of Sammy turning heel.
That is
because it would be a bad idea and it won't work as him as a heel.
Correct.
Guess what? It's not working. This promo was a good babyface promo that was with a heel delivery.
Yeah.
And it just left the crowd confused.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about the faithful, the people who have been there for me since day one. I'm doing this for you. Crickets and then a few boos because they don't know how to react.
Right, because it's like
because they like Carmelo, they like Trick, they're questioning Little Yachty, they like Ilya, and now all of a sudden Sammy weaseled his way to have a WrestleMania match. There's no other way about it.
Right.
So they are definitely pushing the heel formation of Sami Zayn. And then you have Trick Williams come out where people want to cheer him, but then they're still booing a little bit because they're annoyed by Little Yachty.
Yes.
And it got to the point where during Trick Williams' match against Matt Cardona, the crowd popped when Sammy hit Little Yachty with the haluva kick. Because they suddenly, oh, no, we're happy because we hate Little Yachty. Oh, wait, no, we're booing Sammy now. So they just don't know how to react. And then Trick Williams, that is a classic heel situation where you get distracted, you get rolled up and like a surprising upset. No, Trick Williams baby faces out of it and beats Cardona clean.
Right, because they hate Cardona.
So it's just, this has just turned topsy-turvy where this could have, just like how we've talked about with Dom and Finn, how much better that build would be if the IC title was involved. This build for Trick and Sammy would be so much better without the US title.
Number one contendership.
I don't care. It doesn't even have to be that.
But
it could just be, It could be, hey, Trick is getting a push and preferential treatment, and Sammy's annoyed because he's been there for so long and now he's off Mania. No, I'm going to do something about it. Boom, boom, boom. Now you have your match. Oh, why does Trick have the celebrity in his corner? That's not fair. I had to beat up Johnny Knoxville a few years ago. Boom, boom, boom. Whatever. So it's I don't know. I don't know what they can do with Sammy right now because you can't just immediately flip it and have him be babyface again because the crowd's not going to buy it.
I mean, what you can be able to do is you can lean into this, and you don't need to let him like do the BS heel turn, like you fans turned on me and blah 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 and all this other stuff, right? You can have him do the Kurt Angle heel. The Kurt Angle heel was just over the top babyface that people just couldn't stand, right?
Right.
Let him do that. Let him kill the crowd with niceness and kindness, and then they're gonna hate him anyway. Because that's the way to be able to kind of like be in and out, right? Like it's a good way to, and I think that he can be able to maximize that character. I think to me, I think Sammy did some great work when he was a heel. I think he's better as a babyface because that's just naturally who he is.
I enjoyed Conspiracy Theory, Sammy.
Yeah.
Because I still want to see that documentary.
I love Conspiracy Theory, Sammy. I think it was great.
I thought that was fun, but that was the only time that I liked him as a heel because I never really felt like he was a heel with the Bloodline story.
No.
He was just goofy.
I mean, none of them really were except for Roman. Like they were all just like zany, you know what I mean? Even Jay. So it's like, I agree. I just think that Sammy just needs to go away. just go away for a while. Yeah. Just go away, and maybe people will miss you a little bit because what's happening now is that every time his music plays, people get upset. Well, and that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
If we're switching some gears here, somebody who we didn't understand why they were away, and then we were okay with them being away up until a certain point, and now they just showed up for no apparent reason. Royce Keys made his debut with a vignette that morning saying he's making his debut. Now, it's his home turf. Fine, I get that. But if you were going to do that, then how about we have at least a few weeks to build it up? But he showed up, and then he beat Berto in a fair, like not a full squash match, but a
semi-competitive match.
Yeah. But then, all right, Royce Keys is there. Used the spine buster for his finisher, which I am not opposed to him using the spine buster as his finisher because he does such a good job with the spine buster. However, this means no other wrestler on the roster should be doing a spine buster.
Correct.
I already so annoyed with the amount of people that do a moonsault. So if Royce Keys is using a spine buster as finisher, fine. No one else can use a spine buster.
I agree.
So I don't want to see a spine buster by anyone else if that's his finisher. If it's not his finisher and they switch it to the Bulldog Power Slam like that was his finisher in AEW, cool. Then whoever uses spine buster can use it. But he debuted. The match was fine. I don't know if he really got the pop that they were hoping. And then backstage, he had a little interaction with Solo. So clearly that's where his first feud is going to go, somewhere with the MFTs.
Right.
But Barry Grant, I have to ask you, because I know you've been rooting and waiting and hollering, wanting Royce Keys to make his debut. And I text you Friday morning, and I'm just like, so what? This is happening now? And we were just both dumbfounded because there was no hype, no build, no nothing. He showed up at Rumble and has been off TV for the last 3 months. And now 8 days before WrestleMania, not the SmackDown after Mania, which will make much more sense to debut on. Not the SmackDown right before Mania. Say he debuted in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but the SmackDown before WrestleMania is when he actually debuted. I'm afraid to know your thoughts.
I am sick of wrestlers getting booked into their hometown as a thing now. It's becoming too annoying. Like, we get that you're from this place, but it doesn't necessarily need to be booked all the fucking time like that when it doesn't make sense. You had all the momentum in the world when Powerhouse Hobbs left AEW and everybody was like, what the hell is going on? He's in WWE now? Oh my. And he's in the Rumble? Great. It was great to see him. He got a great pop at the Rumble. He did fantastic in the Rumble with the spots that he had. And then you take him off TV for 3 months. So we get
and I am certain that he's going to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on Friday.
Of course. But why couldn't he show up a few weeks before so people can get excited about this guy? Give him some squash matches so now you can be, because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. And I know, again, this is not a smart company with smart people. But you literally did the complete opposite with somebody on the other brand. His name is Obafemi. And you see what happened to him in regards to letting him squash people, letting him come out with his cool ass entrance, letting him let all the fans get involved now. Now you can't stop the train. I'm not saying that Royce Keys would have been Obafemi, but you put a powerhouse guy like that on SmackDown, people are going to want to watch him. Especially if you put him in situations where he's making people look very small and he's throwing people around and he's doing spine busters out the wazoo and just making it look so devastating that people say, yo, that spine buster is pretty cool, man. I never even realized how good a spine buster can look until I saw Royce Keys do it. The only guy that ever did a great spine buster was two of them, Arn Anderson and Farouk. Those are the only two guys that did spine busters great. But this guy does it perfect, and we love it.
There's like one or two others, but those are obviously like the two top.
Those are the
Carl Anderson does an amazing spine buster.
Carl Anderson does do it better, but he doesn't do it better than Arn. He does.
No. Arn, I say is still number one.
Yeah, pretty good, but yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like you had a chance to build this guy, and guess what? Even if you built him weeks before WrestleMania, that doesn't mean that you had to put him on the WrestleMania card. You can still have him win the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. You can still have him do that. But at least now, when WrestleMania is over, SmackDown fans are going to be like, all right, it's Royce Keys time. It's time to be able to push that button. Now you're going to try to do that, which it can still work because you still need stars to build. But it's just a stupid and backwards way of doing it. And it makes sense because SmackDown only knows stupid and backwards. So they're doing exactly what they're used to doing. So that's my opinion.
Hey, speaking of stupid and backwards, Danhausen also debuted.
Danhausen did it.
So again, not at Mania.
Nope.
Not the week after, and we still don't know what show he's on, by the way, because he's still appearing on every show.
You know what would have been great?
What?
If you had Danhausen have a match on the pre-show. But I digress.
Oh.
They don't, brain power is not used in this company, right? Because that would have been a perfect time to have that same match, the same match on a preview show.
Also, and this just dawned on me. So Miz and Kit Wilson are still cursed.
Correct.
Is Dom still cursed? Because he doesn't act like it.
I don't think so.
Is Isho Speed still cursed? Because he doesn't act like it.
Maybe Dom is cursed because the demon's back. Maybe the curse is what brought the demon back. I don't know.
Now you're just giving him too much credit.
Yeah, I am.
But so I am curious why some people's curses wore off and others haven't.
Yes.
But all that said, the match was fine. It was entertaining. I was sports entertained by the match.
I was too. Yep.
I love Kit Wilson.
Who doesn't?
And
it's great.
Yeah, this 100% should have either been, like you said, maybe pre-show match or a filler match on Mania itself, or the SmackDown after Mania.
Yeah, you gotta book out that SmackDown after Mania as a big show, because guess what? It is a big show.
Because they're expecting people to either make debuts or returns. And we just named two guys that, even though you build up a couple of vignettes with Hobbs, obviously Danhausen's been on the show.
Yeah.
People would be going nuts to finally see their debut. And it makes sense. Oh, that week after Mania.
Yep.
Cool. Now here are debuts. And you could have even done a thing where somehow Danhausen had a backstage segment during Mania, and they announced it then that he was going to have his debut on SmackDown.
Correct.
So this is, to me, a little worrisome.
It's desperate booking.
Well, Josh. It's desperate booking, but now my thought with it is, okay, well, how many secret areas of pyro can Danhausen do to curse his way to victories?
Yeah, you've already burned that spot. So what else are you gonna do?
Yeah. And they'll be creative. They'll have a couple other things here or there, but there's only going to be so many.
Right.
Until eventually there's going to be a no cursing stipulation. And Danhausen has to find a way to win clean.
I think the best thing for Danhausen, or for WWE to give Danhausen, like his backstage promos and vignettes and all that stuff and cameos are great, but
yeah,
he's going to need his own talk show. And if he gets that, I think that's a great way to utilize him. I'm not saying that they're not doing a good job, but I think that they could be able to add that as well.
Well, now if I'm playing like the logical, realistic wrestler, and you're Nick Aldis, and you tell me, hey, you're going to be a guest on Danhausen's show. Just go ahead and tell me that I'm going to be a guest on the show.
You're going to be a guest on Danhausen's show?
No, I'm not. I'm not going out there. He'll curse me.
You have to do it for the brand, okay? It's brand sponsorship.
I don't care about the brand. I care about not being cursed.
But see,
I'll hang out in catering.
That's a good, but see, now you can be able to lead, because we book creative on the show too, and we're good. Mm-hmm. Like, you can be able to sell this now if you're a Nick Aldis as punishment, right? Something happened where, look, you broke the rules. Guess what you got to do now? You have to be the ambassador for SmackDown, and now you have to go to Danhausen's show. Why? That you're gonna curse me for the rest of the, like, what did I do? You know what you did. You're going to Danhausen's show. So now you can play into it, man. It's good if they know what they're doing, but again, they don't, because I truly believe, Josh, and I have no evidence of this. I have heard no dirt sheet rumors about this, but the way they booked this show, I think the writers chat GPT their storylines, because there's no way that you can be following this show and following the wrestlers and following everything that's happening in the company, and you just randomly just have some stupid stuff that's come out of nowhere. That's not possible. There's like such a low percentage of that happening, which means that you're not You're putting this into some engine that's creating this stupid nonsense. This can't be real. I don't believe that writers are this stupid. I just don't. And that they're employed. This is how I watch SmackDown the entire show, with a hand on the side of my face, confused.
Well, we've been really negative. Let's switch to something that we can be very positive with.
Please.
Okay. Let's move to Raw and talk Oba and Brock, please.
Oh my goodness. Now,
because
have you noticed, and I don't mean to cut you off, but have you noticed how they've been building this? Does this not feel like the main event of WrestleMania?
Oh,
not
100%.
Even just night one, just WrestleMania, period.
Yeah. And the way they built it up, it should be the main event. Yes. But it's going to open night 2 on ESPN. But this is what I got to say about this.
I love to hear it because we had 2 separate contract signings.
Yes. The first one, very much enjoyed. Heyman does what Heyman does best.
Straightforward.
When Brock grabs the mic, you have to listen, as short as it would be.
Yep.
And it worked. Cool. This was selling a match. Now later on, we have Oba showing up. Well, all of a sudden, Paul Heyman shows up when Oba's there. No Brock, but Paul. And Paul says what everyone's been thinking, and what you and I have also mentioned at some points in previous episodes, how nobody has been this intimidating since Brock debuted. Nobody has been this dominant since Brock debuted. Nobody has been this since Brock Lesnar. But now you're facing Brock Lesnar. And after this, I'd be more than happy to be like your advocate, blah, 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 blah. Oba has done a little bit of talking on the main roster. Like, when he was kind of going back and forth on which show he'd be on. Yeah. His little thing with Kit Wilson. So he has talked in front of a live crowd.
Not much.
But not much. This was his first real babyface promo on the main roster. And really the only time he has spoken in this entire buildup.
Yes.
And I even tweeted this out shortly after I watched it. That might have been the best first babyface promo I have ever heard. It was passionate. This is what I said in my tweet. It was passionate, it was powerful, and it was poignant. And the crowd was already going nuts for him. And then he throws this promo in it, going right back at Heyman with so much intensity. And how he is now the guy. I am the one.
Mm-hmm.
Calling back to that Brock was the one in 21-1. No. Yeah. I, Obafemi, am the one.
Right.
I had goosebumps on goosebumps with this promo. The length of it was great. Like I said, the passion was great. The crowd interaction was great. Paul Heyman's facial reactions to it were great. Everything about it was this guy, as soon as he's done with Brock at Mania, needs to be number 1 contender for the title.
Strap the rocket to him.
Strap the rocket, and immediately next month, he's facing Punk or Roman. Because after this type of feud and after that type of promo, you can't have him just be doing squash matches.
It's what I told you months ago, that Obafemi, in my opinion, at that time, is a better prospect than Braun Breaker is. It's not even close.
Oh, it's by a mile. When he we always knew, and I also always knew, like, he was good. Oh, he's going to be good. When he made that debut during Cena's final match, that's when you're like, no,
Holy
he's
crap.
not good.
Yeah.
That's a freaking star.
Yeah. He's now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, look, everything you said was spot on. The guy just bleeds aura, just bleed. We used to grow up on guys, right, that had this one thing that Oba possesses, that Brock possesses,
Mm-hmm.
that Randy Orton possesses, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, Harley Race. The list goes on. Believability.
Oh, yeah.
When you hear them speak, how they move, how they wrestle, how they tell stories in the ring, everything they do is intentional. Obafemi, there's no motion lost. Everything is intentional. Everything is supposed to be exactly the way he put it out there. Dominant. From the strut to the lighting to the way he speaks on the mic. Everything is intense because that's who he is. And you believe it. Even the way he speaks, his cadence. He doesn't speak like a, very elegant, right?
Right.
Very elegant guy. But you talk about the passion and the aggression and the poignant points that he was making, right? Being able to just hit it right there and not drag on too long. Paul Heyman, you've been a great advocate, but you've also lied to your man. You should have been telling him this. You know what I mean? You
Yep.
came out here, had your open challenge, and you never thought that I would be able to be the one to open the door. And talk about opening the door. The door's already open. My door is right here at WrestleMania. I'm going to walk through it and walk over your man. Bring your beast. I am the ruler. Bring your beast. I'm sold. I've been sold.
I mean, this has been exactly how you build up a WrestleMania main event.
Listen, you put this on ice, you freeze it, you put it in the freezer, and you thaw it out.
The freezer? You put it on the freezer?
Sorry, freezer. You thaw it out when something is going wrong, right? We don't know what to do. Hey, listen, you want to know what to do? Hey, Bob, bring out the freezer, please. This right here. This right here. Everything that happened, this right here. This is what you do, right? When in doubt, crack the glass.
Yep.
Use this. Perfect. You don't need to have these long, dragged out promo sessions every week to build. You don't need to have a pull apart security feud every week. You don't need to have, oh, well, we got him. He got color this week. Just be able to find ways to make it impactful. They don't have to speak. They can get physical sometimes, and they can also be able to do the promos, mix in everything. Mix in everything, give you a little bit of everything, but not too much.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they did. Because we have not seen them get super physical to the point where we can be able to telegraph how the match is going to go. We've seen Brock get physical. We've seen Oba get the best of Brock. We've seen these things. So now the competing fan bases have no idea where this is going. You know what I mean? We think that Brock is still the man. He still got a couple of good matches. He still has the juice. He's not ready to relinquish his spot as the beast of the WWE.
Right.
Obafemi's coming. We don't care. Like, you know what I mean? So that's where they have gold here and knocked it out the park. Barry Bonds right into the water. This is great. This was just great.
And I will say this again, trying to keep the positive momentum because we
I
know
don't
we've
want.
been struggling. We've been struggling to be
I
positive.
don't want any more negative, John. I don't want any more negative. Okay, you talked about Sami Zayn.
That's why I'm saying
I
keeping the
don't
positive
want any.
momentum. I just
Okay,
said I want to keep the positive
look,
momentum. Calm down. I want to talk about Liv and Raquel, or not Liv and Raquel, Liv and Stephanie, because
I
Liv and Stephanie is probably in second place to me as the best builds for WrestleMania behind Brock and Oba.
it is amazing how they have gotten me so invested into two small little girls. They're very small people, very small people, but man, are they intense and mean. It's amazing. Very aggressive. I
They
love
are they have been killing each other the last
it.
few
Yes.
months. But they've also been cutting their promos, but also like their anger has been escalating each time. Liv looked like a psychopath tonight.
Absolute psycho. She looked like a stage 5 clinger. She did.
And in the midst of this, Kathy Kelly takes her first bump.
Oh yeah, she had to get escorted to the ring. Did you see that? She had a
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, she had to be helped out by the referees, and
She was selling it good. Look,
yeah,
can I say this about Liv though? Can I just interject a little bit? That music
sure.
with Kill Trouble, absolute garbage. I don't know what that was. Absolute garbage.
Can I say this about that music video?
Go ahead.
I wasn't crazy about the video. Why is that song kind of catchy though?
Just stop it. Stop.
It's a little catchy.
No, it's not.
There's definitely no singing talents in that song, but it's a little catchy.
This is what happens with you. You like somebody and then you'll go ahead and give it a shot. It was not good, Josh. Okay? We love Liv. She's great. Okay? She does great stuff for WWE, great stuff in the ring, great promo work. This was not good. All right?
There's gonna at one of the Mania after parties, she is going to do a live performance of this.
She will do this. Yes. Maybe after she wins the title, she may do this. I don't know.
Hmm.
But this feud is this is what you call a blood feud. This is a blood feud. And I wish that there was a stipulation. There's no stipulation, correct? It's just a straight match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
God,
yeah. It's just a regular match for the title,
it should be
and well, I'm fine with this. Is definitely going, regardless of whoever wins, is going to have a rematch at Backlash with a stipulation there.
well, I think the backlash excuse me. I think the stipulation at Backlash should be a first blood match.
Mm.
I like that.
Well, do you say first blood?
Yeah.
WWE ain't going to do a first blood match.
Why?
They're too PG.
You have to sell a blood feud somehow. The girl has a knot the size
Yeah,
of a bowling ball on her head.
they'll sell it with a last woman stand-in or something like that.
That's terrible. First blood.
Now, someone might end up bleeding during that match.
Yes. This is the only time that I'm going to co-sign WWE for stealing an AEW thing. Let the women bleed and fight and have a barbed wire match. Okay? That's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way to do it. Sell it. Sell it to me. Okay? Sell the aggression and the anger. Blood feud. First blood match. That's what I'm saying. It'll make it interesting. You know, you don't always have to have the same stipulations. Oh, it's a street fight. Oh, it's a Hell in a Cell. Oh, it's a cage match. Oh, last woman standing. We don't care about all that stuff. Do something real. Blood. But this is good though. I love this.
Yes. What about Seth and Gunther tonight? Because we actually, for something that was put on so late because we had no idea what was going to be happening with either of them.
Yeah.
To their credit, they have salvages to make this sound like a feud of some kind. But we know the match itself is going to steal the show. But it's interesting the way Gunther got into it with Seth. And Gunther is definitely hiding the true reason, which we've, alluded to in past episodes.
Yep.
I'm just into think about the two of them having a match because I know that match is just going to be great. I didn't need the head shoving during the promo part. I'm not quite sure why pushing each other's heads were into it. But I kind of liked what Gunther said in here. Just like talking about how, when I was champion, you were, like getting credit for being a useful idiot to Paul Heyman, and that's why I'm annoyed with you, and I'm not, I'm getting a favor from Paul, but it's not to be a Paul Heyman guy, blah 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 blah.
Right.
And then they brawl for a minute. That attempt curb stomp got me really worried because the angle that Seth was going at the stairs, that could have easily done damage to the foot or ankle. So thankfully, he seemed all right.
He's a little older. He needs to relax.
Yeah. But what were your thoughts? Because I think you were telling me that you were curious on what I thought about this because you were going to bring something up.
I thought this was extremely awkward.
Now, why is that?
I think because, Gunther goes to the ring, Seth Rollins comes in, and there's a scrap, and then takes the mic, and then he's talking about Gunther and blah, 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 and how you're going to get your hands on him, and then he's just like, but you can come in this ring and tell me why this is good. I've been in many fights in my life. And I've been in some fights as a kid where, something happens and you don't have any type of exchange, in regards to any verbal exchange. It's just that whenever I see you, it's on sight and there's fist flying.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been a time where I go ahead and slug somebody in the face, then say to them, you tell me why you have a problem with me. I didn't need that. What I needed were these two calm guys to be able to have a face-to-face. Gunther can come out. He's talking. Seth Rollins comes out. They go ahead and they have this promo, and Gunther can say the exact same thing. You have been parading around here for years, claiming that you're the best. But yet, I held the heavyweight title for so long. You never held the heavyweight title as long as I did. You never held it as long as I did. You never done the things that I did, but you tend to get all of the credit. Why? Because you're the corporate kiss ass. You're the person that they always go to because you're safe. I'm dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't like you. That's why I want to put you to sleep at WrestleMania. It has nothing to do with what I got going on with Paul Heyman. You mind your business. You worry about me. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your ass to sleep at WrestleMania and put all of these people's dreams of saying the stupid ass song at WrestleMania to sleep too. That's why I'm coming at you. Then if you want to go ahead and have some type of physicality, go ahead. But to start with the physicality and then ask him to now tell you why, it's complete backwards. And I've never seen it. And it was really awkward for me. So that was
I think that's why they went for it, because it's something we don't normally see.
But that doesn't mean it's good.
I thought it was all right. I didn't say it was the greatest segment of the show.
Sure, I'm not saying you. It's just like, I've never seen them do that.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that another Chat GPT type of storyline. Like, it doesn't make sense. It don't make sense.
Yeah.
I love these two. I think they're going to tear the house down on WrestleMania. But I really think this is going to be the show stealing match of the weekend. Yeah. I think it's gonna be great, but I didn't need this. I
Mm,
didn't need this to sell the feud for me. I
yeah.
needed them to have some type of normalcy to be able
Mhm.
to sell the feud to me because Seth Rollins should be incensed as he showed, right? He came out there, he was trying to fight. But you can be incensed and still be able to figure out what the hell is going on without necessarily doing what they did. They could have found a way to do it a little better. That's all I'm saying. I'm nitpicking, but it would just came off very weird to me. That's all.
I got you. Well, speaking of weird, does that show Speed a babyface? Because that's what I got from that vignette.
That vignette was
I got, oh, hey, I'm doing it. I'm learning. I can do it.
and then he actually so one vignette is gonna make him ready for WrestleMania.
Yeah, he did one practice session with Logan Paul and Austin Theory, and he's ready to open WrestleMania. That's all it takes, guys. All it takes is one training session.
Right.
So for those of you that aspire to be a sports entertainer, just go to training one time, and you will be in WrestleMania.
I just I had no opinion on this. I watched um, I watched this with just confusion, and then I do what I normally do when I don't like something. I push the fast forward button.
Mm. I was
I,
cooking dinner during it, so
yeah,
I'll be honest.
this was just a nothing burger for me. Like, why is this here? This is a typical WrestleMania match though. So, and the fact that it's going to kick off WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
This match will kick off WrestleMania.
Yep. Yep. This is going to be the first match of WrestleMania on ESPN 2. Saturday, it's on ESPN 2.
Right.
Sunday, it's on ESPN proper, which I don't know if I've ever heard anyone describe ESPN as ESPN proper until Michael Cole did it tonight multiple times.
Never heard of that.
Well, something that will also be on ESPN proper, besides Oba and Brock, will be the Intercontinental title ladder match. And we had a 6-man tag. It was the one fun match for the crowd tonight because there wasn't much of any matches.
Correct.
Javon, Dragon Lee, and JD McDonough, or Javon and Dragon Lee, excuse me, against JD McDonough and Rusev. I said 6-man because Rey Mysterio showed up and then Penta showed up.
Yeah.
So all 6 people were in there. But Rusev at the end took all of them out and was the one standing tall. And this was the most dominant Rusev has looked since he came back to WWE.
And I loved every second.
I loved it. I loved it. He ain't going to win.
No.
But I loved that, hey, we're going to do everything we can to make you forget that he was squashing 3 minutes to Oba 6 weeks ago.
Right. I think they did a good thing here just to be able to hide the football.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where it's like we want to create as much diversion as possible to say, hey, look who we're building up on our go home show to be able to lay out everybody. So, Rusev may have the upper hand in getting this Intercontinental title. So it's good to be able to have that, especially because when you think about the field, right? Like Rusev is the only guy there outside of a bunch of guys that fly around, right? That are smaller.
Right.
So, you had to have the dominant guy or the bigger guy be able to show his strength and push some guys around, and they did that here. So they got their point across. Rusev got his moment here on the go home show, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot more spots in the ladder match. But is he going to win? I doubt he's going to win, but he's going to have a good showing. And that's the thing about Rusev, right? Is that this is a guy that's always been a good hand. And I just think that they need to find ways to utilize him more. He doesn't necessarily have to win every match or whatever it is, but you do have to make sure that you keep his believability about him up, right? You don't want to sell him as this jobber because he's not. There's no way you can job out Rusev. You just can't do it. you have to make sure that you keep him relevant because he's such a good hand to have on your roster.
Yes. So
So
I liked what they did with that match, more so the aftermath of it
yeah,
for the feud.
and this is a fun match too.
That's going to be a very fun match.
Yeah,
And then yeah, really last thing from Raw that we really talk about is the main event. One last go home promo with Roman and Punk,
yeah,
which was the most calm and subdued promo of all of them.
yeah.
Um, Punk brought back his "Tell me I'm telling lies" line that he was using in AEW.
Right.
And he was using an AEW when like he was kind of teasing the heel run.
Mm.
Um, that's when he used it in AEW, and it was interesting because he was bringing the stuff up and bringing. I've actually really kind of jealous of you because you started on third base to get to WrestleMania, and I
Yep.
had to work my way and all these things. He then finally apologized for bringing up Sika in the promo. To your point that you mentioned earlier, there was never a mention at all about Pat McAfee in this promo, which was wonderful.
Yep.
Um, and I liked because he kept saying, tell me when I'm telling lies, and at the end, he said, at the end of Sunday, they'll say "and still," and Roman's like, that was the most truthful you ever been until the end. And then Roman did his thing. And then it was, just the stare down, which I liked. We didn't need them to get physical again. When they were building it up as far as if you're not going to tell the truth, I'm going to tell the truth type thing. Part of me wanted more with that because, if you're saying people aren't telling the truth, okay, what are we going to suddenly reveal in this? And there really wasn't anything of a reveal. The only thing was Punk was showing empathy and actually did apologize for the Sika thing. Roman, to me, didn't really do anything. I mean, his promo was fine, but there was no like quote unquote truth that was revealed in it of any nature. What it could have been was, he could have been, here's the truth. I am actually grateful on you bringing me in at the beginning, and then you ran away, or so, like just something in there to build up again the truths. We got some from Punk. We didn't really get any from Roman, but the interaction was all right. I thought the ending was a little anticlimactic.
Okay.
Because again, it was Roman started with "and it will be and new," and then they just stared at each other. There wasn't any more back and forth. There wasn't Punk holding the belt up. There wasn't any. It was just this, and then fade out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was better than some of the other promos during this feud.
Yeah.
And again, and I'm glad there was no McAfee mention. So,
I
what
think
did you think?
the last 2 weeks, in my opinion, has built more intrigue for the match. Obviously, even if you
Yep.
take out Punk's scathing comments towards Pat McAfee, what he said about Roman Reigns was it made the story more serious, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he really went in depth in regards to certain things. But this one, to me, hit differently just because I don't know if you noticed, but boy, CM Punk sold this promo with his expression. He looked like
Oh
somebody
yes,
who
yes.
was battling some type of inner demon, right? Where he was
Mm-hmm.
like he was tormented about this. He had to get this off of his chest because he's been holding it for so long, and you can literally visibly see it on his face of how frustrated he was, right? That I don't hate you because I hate you. I hate you because I wish I had your advantage. That I wish I didn't have to fight so hard to get where I am. And you got that spot and I hate you for it. Like that is good because that
Right.
is real truth. Like, yo, I'm not saying that you're not a great that you haven't done great in the spot when you got it. I'm just mad about how you got it.
Yeah.
Care about the end result. Like, yeah, you're a great, main eventer and all that stuff. Cool. But how you got it bothers me because I am the best in the world. And if I'm the best in the world and everybody and most people say I'm the best in the world, then why wasn't I given third base?
Yeah.
And because of that, now I have to beat you. Because if I then beat you, now people are going to give me third base. Now I don't have to work for things anymore. I can be able to just be handed these things. That is an angle that I've never like in the babyface Punk era that we've been in since he's been in WWE. We haven't gotten that Punk where he's mentioning my title reign. But we always talk about this. We have to read between the lines.
Yep.
Can you tell me what he was in that title reign?
What Punk was in his title reign?
Yeah.
Talking about the summer of Punk?
He was a heel.
No, he flipped. He started face and then he
Right.
eventually turned into heel. Yes.
That's what I'm saying is that that's important here. Is that he's mentioning his longest title reign that he was healed, he was bitter, and now he's even more bitter because Roman Reigns had a title reign when he was healed and was longer. And that's what people are missing is that he wants Roman's spot.
Yeah.
He doesn't just want Roman's spot as the face of the company. He wants to be him. Whatever Roman was, he wants that. So if Roman is the bad guy, I'm going to show you what a bad guy looks like. I got to beat that guy. Yeah. That's what I took from it. Like, I could be wrong, but it's like that was great because I saw some raw emotion from a guy. Like, I'm jealous of you. That's when do you ever hear that in a wrestling ring? I'm jealous of you. I hate the fact that you've gotten this. So gold, loved it.
Yeah. So we will see because that's the end of it. No more talk. No more pipe bombs. No more you're old.
Nope.
No more USO involvement. Well, that stopped weeks ago.
I'm just now excited about WrestleMania entrances.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna do our predictions as far as the matches, but let's do a fun prediction. All right, so night 1 and night 2. Well, let's do night 1. Go in and I sent you go ahead and throw the card up, and the first prediction we're gonna do based on night 1's matches. Who is having the best entrance?
Ooh, so if I'm looking at it here.
Who gets the best entrance?
Seth Rollins.
It's going to be Pat McAfee, but no. I am going to lean towards, I think the coolest entrance will probably end up being Charlotte and Alexa's.
Okay. Charlotte always has
a cool one.
Yeah.
I think
Stephanie may have one too.
I was going to say Liv and Stephanie should both have very cool ones.
Yeah.
But I'll go ahead. I'll pick Charlotte and Alexa for the sake of day 1 as far as entrance.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll go Seth Rollins. I'll stick with that.
All right. So now let's go through the matches. So we'll start on the bottom and work our way up. Now I have no idea if this is going to be the order of the entire show.
I doubt it.
If it is, I do not like this card lineup.
No, me neither.
I
Because
personally,
Drew and Fatu being second, I don't like that.
well, Drew and Fatu is also in the free hour, so yeah, that will be second. So
Ugh.
that to me, I would have honestly switched Becky and AJ into that first hour, just
Mm,
because again, you're wanting a big star power in that free hour because you're gonna have Brock in it in night 2. I think Becky and AJ Lee could fill that void. As that's not a shot at Fatu or Drew as far as big stars, but those two are even more mainstream than those two are.
I agree.
Plus 3 of the 5 matches on the main show as women's matches, which on one hand is awesome to see, but it's weird how they're going to be spacing them. Because honestly,
Right.
Stephanie and Liv should main event night 1, and it's not gonna.
I agree. And also too, like just like you said, there's 3 matches, 3 women's matches. If you would have put one into the free hour, now you have a lot more balance because you can now be able to put whatever match here, put a males match in the middle, and then now you have a little bit more balance in regards to how you want to do it. But now, I'm curious to see if we're just gonna go with this being the actual order of the card. Clunky to me, clunky to say the least.
But let's go with our pick. So first, the 6-man tag, the former tag champions, if you could remember it, the Usos and LA Knight against the current tag team champions division and the freshly trained iShow Speed. iShow Speed is he's going to get his ass kicked, right?
I would hope so, because every time he's been on WWE TV, he's always gotten some type of big hit. Like, remember the spear that Braun Breaker gave him? So I would love for him. I'm sure he's gonna have a big spot. But we all know who's taking the pin here. Austin Theory's taking the pin here. He's taking the pin here. I have LA Knight.
You don't think iShow Speed could take the pin?
Why?
Because Logan and Austin leave him high and dry.
That's not bad either. That's not bad. So that's what you think it is that they decide to abandon ship and leave this kid by himself to fend for himself.
Something happens and they end up, like having to defend himself, and then he just eats everything.
Yeah. That might not be bad, because then everybody can get their moves off and leave iShow Speed laying there. But I just don't think that people look at him as they don't want him to see his ass kicked like that. I don't know. I think they prefer to see the Vision get their ass kicked over an iShow Speed. But if they happen to do it that way, then great. But my prediction would be LA Knight Usos win and Austin Theory gets pinned.
I mean, I agree. LA Knight, Usos will win.
Who's taking the pin?
I'm gonna lead towards iShow Speed. It will probably be Austin. Logan's not taking the pin, that's for sure. No. But I'll say iShow Speed just for fun.
Okay, so I got Austin. You got iShow Speed. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. McIntyre Fatu in an unsanctioned match.
Street fight.
It is not for the sanction.
Mm-hmm. So it's another street fight.
Yep. I mean, this is a no-brainer that Fatu's winning this, right?
Yes.
Okay. You scared me there for a second.
Yeah, there's no way Drew wins this match, unfortunately. Plus, he's gonna go. Apparently, he's gonna be on hiatus after this too, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. Four-way for the women's tag team titles. The Irresistible Forces, Nia and Lash, defending against Charlotte and Alexa, Lyra and Bailey, and maybe the Bellas, because Nikki Bella is still injured, and they have not announced something yet.
Haven't got confirmation. Well, the Kabuki Warriors are waiting in the wings.
Right. So meanwhile, because of that, right now, Asuka and Kyrie aren't on the card. Io is not on the card at all because of this hanging in the balance. So if Nikki can't go, she should be replaced by Danhausen. But based on what the card is right now, who you got winning the tag title match?
I have Bailey and Lyra winning.
And I agree with you. I also have Bailey and Lyra. They've really been pushing them hard these last several weeks. And
Bailey deserves a WrestleMania moment, damn it.
Well, she's had a WrestleMania moment.
But she needs another one.
She does need another one because she got screwed out of it last year.
Yeah, she definitely did, and I didn't like that.
Yeah. All right, so we're so far we're in agreement on all of them. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch.
I think we're gonna be in unison on this one too. Becky Lynch wins this match in a good match. I think this is gonna be a good match. But listen, even if AJ is around more frequently, I just believe that it's better for her to chase or move on to something else and give Becky the title, because Becky, let me tell you something. I have not always been a big Becky Lynch fan. I will tell you that. I have not always been a big Becky Lynch fan. But what I can be able to tell you is that she has grown on me so much because of her promo work, of her character development, and on top of that, her ring work has gotten a lot better over the years. So I've developed a very big respect and a fondness for Becky Lynch, and I do believe that she deserves to win this match here, because when the lights shine bright at WrestleMania, she tends to turn into a monster when it comes to performance at WrestleMania. So I got Becky Lynch winning this.
I disagree.
Okay, I like it. Finally,
I disagree with you on this, and everything you said makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
and I would not be against Becky winning this.
Yeah.
What I want in a perfect world is AJ Lee to overcome and Becky loses again, but that then ends this feud. But then Becky moves back to the world title picture, and AJ Lee can lose this and put over Raquel and have a David and Goliath battle and let Goliath win.
Okay.
Because you got to put a belt on Raquel.
Yes.
She needs a title, a singles title.
And she would do very well.
Yes. So I'm going to go opposite with you this time with AJ Lee winning. Obviously, I'm totally fine with Becky winning it because she's done great things with the Intercontinental Championship. But I feel she's ready to have a feud with either Stephanie or Liv. Either one, depending on what happens, they can make it work. And, she wants to say that she's the best, in the division. So to be the best, you got to be the main champion.
Yeah, listen, I don't disagree, man. I think I like what you're booking after Mania, right? Like if you're booking that Roxanne is the one to take the belt from AJ, I don't mind that, right? That makes sense. Hell, I don't even mind if AJ drops it at the Raw after Mania. Who knows, right? Like you can have any type of situation happen, but that to me, if that happens, I'll be okay with it. If it doesn't happen, and then they're trying to scramble in regards to what they're going to do with AJ, if she's gonna be around, then great. Let her stay around and let her be a little bit more consistent when being on the show and defending it and all that other stuff. I'm okay with that. But if she's not,
Yeah.
then you got to give it to Becky, because
Yep.
Becky has put so much prestige on that title that it, in some aspects, feels more important than the women's championship. So it's either way, I'm good, but I just will have to lean Becky. So I like the fact that we have opposing views here, and let's see what happens.
All right. What was the next one?
Put it back up, please. There we go. We have
Rollins and Gunther. Okay.
Rollins and Gunther.
I
think we're in lockstep in regards to what happens here, unless you've changed your mind, sir.
Gunther's winning this.
Gunther's
winning.
But not clean.
And no, yeah, we're both under the assumption that Braun Breaker will show up.
Right.
All right. Yep, that's that one. Okay. Liv and Stephanie. I've gone back and forth with this. The way they've done this build, which is great, that I'm not 100% certain on who's winning.
Yeah.
Should I go first or should you?
Whatever you need.
Whatever I need.
Whatever you need.
Now here's a question, because let me look this up first, because I don't know this direct answer yet. I am checking, has there ever been a women's Royal Rumble winner that lost at Mania?
Asuka.
Oh, right. There's actually been two, Asuka and Ronda Rousey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I forgot about Asuka with the very first one.
Yep. Broke her undefeated streak because Vince McMahon's idiot.
I think a win. I think it'd be a cooler celebration, and it would look like a bigger moment if Liv wins.
Okay.
I think Stephanie needs the moment more than Liv. So for a long time, I was certain that Liv would be the one winning. This feud has made me change my mind, and I'm going to go Stephanie winning. And this then begins the fallout of the women's side of the Judgment Day between Liv, Roxanne, and Raquel, because they try to help. Something goes wrong. Stephanie wins, and then someone's going to break off.
Right. I like
And
it.
You?
I think WWE had all the plans in the world, and all the signs were pointing to Liv winning. But I do believe that the way feuds pan out can be able to change your mind.
Yeah.
And I just believe that Stephanie has done such a great job selling this feud and making it more important than a lot of us deemed it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of the Royal Rumble, right? Coming out of, okay, well, she's picking Stephanie. Okay, great. But what's the backstory here? And they have created something that everybody that is watching is invested in. And at this point, for me, you can't take the title off of Stephanie now.
Right.
You have to let her continue to grow into this character that we've seen now. That she's a great face champion, but man, does she have a mean streak.
Which is also why, going back to one of my earlier predictions, I love the thought of a Becky-Stephanie feud. So yeah, we are in agreement with Stephanie retaining.
Yeah, that Stephanie Becky, that'd be really good.
Yeah. All right, and then last one of night one, Pat McAfee versus Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes.
You notice that there's no jelly roll behind Cody?
Not yet. They've got one more SmackDown. They might add him.
Yeah, that's we all know that's gonna happen. We all know that's gonna happen. Yeah, I mean, look, we don't want
you can't have Orton lose now.
Just not with the new world order that they're going to be able to establish again. So
yeah,
Orton wins, and the place is going to boo like crazy.
Especially when because McAfee's going to be running around the ring holding the belt.
Correct. And the place is going to it's just not going to be good, man. And
unless he does that, then Orton gets the belt and then RKO's Pat. The crowd will go insane if Orton RKO's McAfee.
That would be great because he's literally saying, "Hey, I got what I wanted and I don't need you anymore."
Yeah.
But again, that would then kill the Backlash tag team match. So
oh no, because we really wanted that.
We're not getting that.
Oh, I was gonna pay like $9,000 for ringside seats. who am I kidding? $9,000 will get me nosebleeds these days.
Exactly. Hey, listen, if you're lucky, they'll take 25% off.
I saw this this post earlier today, and I had to repost it because it was just so bizarre. Having to do with it. So it had to do with SummerSlam. I'll say it real quick because then I know we're going to go into Sunday. So WWE is charging $25,000 per person for ringside front row seats for both nights of SummerSlam in Minneapolis through their on-location elite package. That sounds insane. However, the second sentence, that's a $15,000 drop from last year when the same package cost $40,000.
They sold ringside seats for $40,000
for an elite both night package. It was who knows what else in this on location elite package. Last year they apparently sold them for $40,000, and this year, hey, I mean percentage wise, that sounds great because hey, we're cutting off almost 50% of the price,
right?
But it's still 25,000 sounds beyond insanity, and it was almost double that last year.
That's insane. I mean, they have lost their fucking minds. They really have.
Yeah.
In regards to pricing wrestling tickets or packages this expensive, it's just silly. It's just silly, man. It's one thing Vince McMahon said he would never do, and he never did it. So, gotta get the old man credit.
All right, night 2. No. Let's throw that card up there.
Night 2. Who we got? Bang.
All right. Well, we open with our favorite feud. I think it's everyone's favorite feud. Going Oba and Brock. Again, you can't have Oba lose the way they've done all this stuff with him. Did you say why?
Yeah.
I know it's very late with you, but I can't tell if you're just loopy or if you mean that.
I'm saying, look, the guy has performed well. The crowd loves him. They're hyped. They're in tune with this match and this feud. Oba doesn't lose if he loses. You just build him even more because you get some sympathy from the fan base. And now they're like, all right, we didn't get the beast.
But here's the thing. When it comes to monsters.
Yes.
When a monster gets sympathy, they are no longer the top contender.
That's not true. And the reason why I'm going to say you're wrong, sir, is because Godzilla and King Kong. All right?
Okay, I guess I should have been more specific. Monsters in the WWE.
You had to clarify. All right,
yeah,
you had to
clarify.
My bad.
No, that's on me. That's
nerd card.
That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. I can say my bad. That's fine.
All right. You're right.
But Oba's winning this.
Oba's winning.
I see ladder match. Penta, Rusev, Javon, Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, JD McDonough. Oh, actually, we completely forgot. Best entrance of night 2.
Best entrance of night 2. Let me go ahead and see. I'm gonna give it to Oba.
It will probably be Oba, but I'm gonna put it on Trick.
Trick has to go big. Trick
is gonna go. So he's gonna have a giant church choir. He's gonna have.
I was just gonna tell you that. I think
he's gonna have like a helicopter spotlight following him. He is going to Jamiroquai his way down the ramp.
Jamiroquai. Listen, for you young people, look it up, please.
One of my all-time favorite one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
So the 6-pack ladder match, though.
Yeah, who we got?
I mean, honestly, like, I would love to see Dragon Lee win it. I would love to see JD McDonough with it. It would be a cool nostalgia thing if Ray won it one more time. I don't see Javon winning it, but Javon's going to have the craziest move, and I obviously don't see Rusev winning it. Even though I would like to see a powerhouse win it.
Right.
Do I go with my heart or do I go with logic?
Logic.
Penta retains. The logic says Penta retains.
Logic says Penta retains because I think that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Because, you put the title on him very recently, and for him to lose it now, not saying that, this is not a convenient place to lose it, because he doesn't lose anything here, in my opinion.
Right.
But you do not want to take the title off of him because he's a very exciting champion. I like Penta with the belt. I think he can be able to continue to grow and evolve with the title and have good feuds and really like give him a good run until you go ahead and drop it. So yeah, I agree with you. I think Penta retains. But if I am going to say a dark horse can win it, my dark horse would be JD McDonough. I think that
as is mine. That's what my heart wants to go with.
Yeah, because
I want JD to go with.
We can be able to set up a JD versus Finn for the title, and
with the type of wrestling JD has done over the last year and a half, and the injuries that he's gotten, and came back from, like, that would be a really cool way of being like, hey, we owe you something,
right?
Based on what you've done, get a moment.
Yeah. Have a WrestleMania moment, man.
Yeah,
because I remember before he got hurt, the first, he was really starting to develop a fan base and the momentum starting to swing in his way, man. So if you give this guy a moment, there's no telling that you can be able to really like springboard him into a different situation because he can wrestle. He's a very good wrestler.
Yeah. What was next on the card?
What's next?
Oh, Sammy and Trick.
Sammy and Trick.
U.S. title. The double swerve is going to be cemented.
You think so?
Because Little Yachty is going to screw up. And Sammy is going to cheat his way to win and retain. And then Trick is going to deck Little Yachty to cheers. And that will cement Sammy cheated the retain. Trick got cheated and then took out the celebrity. The double turn happens. So based on that, Sammy actually retains.
Sammy retains. Wow.
And notice my tone. It was just a couple months ago. I was ready. Sammy gets a title match in WrestleMania and wins, and the crowd goes nuts. And now I'm like, Sammy retains the U.S. title, and everyone boos him.
Yeah,
I'm so mad. I'm so sad about this.
You're finally came to your senses.
It's not come to my senses. It's what they're doing to him, and it's wrong. It's
You
wrong.
came to your senses, Josh. You said, you know what? I've been on this Trojan horse for as long as I was, and I have now seen the light. I see how vanilla he is. He's like a vanilla wafer. Nothing special.
I love Sammy.
Just like, I'm off the train and I'm right here with you, and say, friend, grab my hand and get on this trick train, and get on the train that is not with
Get on the trick train.
Get on the trick train and leave Sammy behind. And that's what you've done. And I'm proud of you. Okay? I am so proud of you to realize that you had one of the worst situations and worst outings on SmackDown, and you're off the train for now. I'm happy with that. So with that being said, I got Trick getting his WrestleMania moment and just banish Sammy to oblivion. All right? Just have him go somewhere else. Have him go somewhere else. Go to main event. Go to NXT. Go for the title. Go after D'Angelo, whatever the hell his name is. Go after
Tony
him.
D'Angelo.
Yeah, go after that guy. Don't have any business with the US title, with the World Heavyweight Championship, with the WWE title. We don't want you in those situations. Just go away.
You're a bad person.
I'm
You're a bad
sorry.
person, Barry Grant.
He has go away heat with me. He does, and he has had it for a long time. That's all I'm saying. So go away. Go away. Who's next?
Rhea and Jade.
Yay.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that's gonna make me happy is if we hear, I'm on my own against the wall. That's the only thing that's gonna make me happy, is if I see Bianca swirling around with that hair coming down the aisle. That's it. This feud sucks. Okay? I don't care who wins. But if I have to go ahead and pick a winner, then give me Jade. Because putting the belt on Rhea, the only reason why Rhea is in this spot is because they needed a high profile, star to be in this situation with Jade, because you want to push over Jade, you want to give her the rub, and you want to continue to build her as the Lex Luger of the women's division. So that's my prediction. Jade wins.
So up until tonight's Raw, I agreed with you.
Okay.
Asuka and Kyrie are going to attempt to interfere at some point. Io tries to help. They outnumber her. They take out Rhea's only friend. And then there's Michin and B-Fab cornering Rhea. She's outnumbered. She's outmanned. She's all this. Jade's going to retain. And Bianca's music hits. And Bianca ends up being that extra friend for Rhea, takes out Michin and B-Fab. Rhea then beats Jade for the title, so we can have Bianca and Jade, and we can have a SmackDown feud without a title involved. Raw has been able to do that.
Okay.
SmackDown hasn't. So you still get your Bianca Jade, no title yet, because Bianca just came back. Because again, if we're thinking storybook, and you and I think this, of course, doesn't mean the people who are in charge think this.
No.
Well, if someone's gone for over a year, why should they immediately get a title shot?
Yeah, true.
They got to work their way. They got to beat some people. So then you have Bianca beat Michin. You have Bianca beat B-Fab. You have Bianca beat Jade, and then she gets a title shot. This could also open the door for Rhea to have a feud with, whether it's Julia, Chelsea, Tiffany, Kiana. You have all these other women that have not been in that picture yet, that are, and everyone that I just listed, I believe, everyone I think that I just listed, except Tiffany, are heels. So, hey, you can help elevate them. So give me Rhea winning the title.
Okay, so we're on opposite sides of this. I got Jade, you have Rhea, and we
Yeah.
both have Bianca interfering in some capacity.
Yes. Yes.
Very good, very good, very good. Who's next?
Uh, Dom and the Demon, Finn Balor. I mean, we don't even need to break this one down because if somehow Finn Balor loses as the Demon,
Not,
then he's retiring. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So Balor wins. There's no debate on this. We already know that.
What I think I'm taking back my my cool entrance prediction.
You think it's going to be Balor?
Yes.
That will be a pretty damn cool entrance.
He needs to. My favorite one is when he came out like Jack the Ripper.
Uh huh.
NXT. That was great. He needs to do something.
Is there some type of Vegas horror guy, like a horror guy that's based around Vegas?
I don't know. Might have to look up.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up right now. Um, I mean, well, I don't really know any of these. I mean, they're just talking about like, oh, sometime you'll see, like a zombie in a casino
Yeah.
type thing. Yeah, like, no, that ain't gonna be it. Um, so there's some actor or some scare actors like Piper and Bucket. I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah.
Someone
Never.
from the Kill Vault area. I don't know what that means. All right, whatever. All right, main event of the main events: CM Punk, Roman Reigns.
You want me to go first?
Who does Oba face then on Monday? Because he's got to be the next guy.
Who does Oba squash the next time he sees these two? I'm going Punk, man. I just it it tells a better story if Punk wins. Just because
Yeah.
we understand that, and it doesn't even have to do anything with Roman Reigns' availability, because I truly believe that his schedule is going to be a lot more consistent this year. Like,
Mhm.
for the remainder of the year, I think Roman Reigns is going to be around a lot more. Um, it just it helps build this story because I don't think that this story is over.
Mhm.
And because of that, Punk needs to win. So I'm going Punk.
Um, for everything you said, I agree. I also have Punk retaining
Yeah.
because again, this is, I mean, technically Punk's second WrestleMania main event, but this is first as like the main of the main event,
The
and he
action.
lost last year,
Yes.
so he finally has what he perceives as like the like WrestleMania moment to close out WrestleMania, holding the title up,
Right.
and then we could start really dissecting more of the interaction of Roman and Jay and Jimmy
Right.
again, because there was a dynamic that was shifting a few weeks ago. So you can focus on that. And then you know what? You have Punk and Oba. And the crowd is going to turn organically on Punk.
Yeah, naturally. Because they want to see the change of the old guard, right?
Yeah.
They want to see the old guy pass the torch to the young guy. And there's no beef on Punk. It's just, bro, we just love Oba, and it's time to build for the future, right?
And by the way, I don't know if you know this. Oba Femi is 27.
Yeah, I know. He's
I
very
knew
young,
he was obviously younger. I didn't realize he was that young.
which
I thought
means
he was like early 30s.
which means that this is gonna be a guy that's gonna be around for a long time.
And this is your exact type of setup of just like how you had Brock versus The Rock
at SummerSlam. Yep.
at SummerSlam. So whether you have this feud go to SummerSlam or you have Oba just immediately be the guy right after, but this is like your setup of the top guy, the top talker, the top everything, and then the young beast just comes in and has been wrecking havoc on everybody, and then he wrecks havoc on Punk.
I don't want to see that too early, though. In my opinion, I if they're going to pull that trigger, then you have to do it exactly like how they did Brock and Rock. Like let him get it at SummerSlam. If
Like
that's
like if they bring King of the Ring back, let him win
yeah,
that.
let the ruler become the king,
Mm.
and then he can be able to now have his chance
So
at
it's really going to mirror Brock's initial start.
yeah, do that because if you're gonna have him slay the beast, right?
Yep.
Then let him have the same path as the beast
Mm-hmm.
and do it in a I'm not gonna say a more dominant way, but you're gonna go ahead and kind of do it your way and put your own stamp on
Yeah.
his path of destruction, right? That's what
Yeah.
Oba is going to be. It's going to be the path of destruction for Obafemi heading into SummerSlam, and that's what it needs to be.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So let's go with that. Let's say, okay, Punk retains, Oba wins his match, but Oba and Punk don't cross paths until several months later.
Yeah.
Then who was next for Punk?
Who is next for Punk? Great question. Um. Wow.
I have one guess that the crowd would get behind. Then the question is, do they want the crowd to get behind it?
Who's that?
Dominic.
We did talk about Dominic being put into the heavyweight championship title
Mm-hmm.
picture. Just
Mm-hmm.
about how do we get there, right?
Right. Right.
How do we
So
get
like
there?
you have some number one contender 4-way match on the Raw after Mania, and he somehow wins it after he just lost to Balor.
I don't hate that. I don't
No.
hate that because if Punk is gonna be your guy going forward for at least until SummerSlam, you need to have plausible heels to be in his way. And with the landscape of Raw right now, there's not many.
And
So
and then and then you could also be setting up Dom and Liv versus Punk and AJ.
yeah.
So you could set some stuff up with it.
Yeah, there's plenty of ways. Plus, at some point we're gonna get Seth Rollins versus Punk, right?
We need that again.
Yep.
But now it's just the intrigue of now both of them are baby faces, unless we're doing a thing where if Punk does make the transition to heel, and now all of a sudden we get Punk and Rollins again, but now they're flipped,
That would
which
be
would be
interesting.
intriguing.
And would
Um,
also make more sense if Punk is going to drop the title to Obafemi at SummerSlam.
but along with that, I mean, we're also under the assumption that Braun Breaker's back, so Rollins will be busy with him.
True.
Um, Now you could also, if our predictions are correct, where we also mentioned how Gunther, the Raw after Mania, takes out Brock.
Yeah.
Well, then you could try to set up Gunther and Punk again, but at the same time, you can't have Gunther lose.
No. So you don't want that.
So you probably don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think realistically, the most viable option as far as who is currently on the Raw roster would be Dominic.
As a heel right now would be Dominic.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to have to figure out heels on Raw because there's just not enough of them. And I've made the case switching LA Knight back to SmackDown and
Mm-hmm.
taking I don't know, man. You take take any heel over there on SmackDown, put them on Raw, and just create some type of
Solo.
yeah. I was just thinking that in my head. I didn't know how you would have thought about that, but Solo came to my head, and why not?
Yeah.
Like, why the hell not? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so
Also, there are going to be some call-ups. Ricky Saints and Ethan Page, we're just waiting for them to show up. Now, I
correct.
don't foresee them immediately getting thrown into the heavyweight championship match.
But they're going to be in the mix in regards to tag team.
If they were to put them as a team, I
Yeah.
think you could put them both individually, personally.
Well, yeah, I mean they're a faction, right? So they can team, but they're still solo guys.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think definitely there's a chance to be able to have some new blood come up. And Punk is a historian. Punk always likes to help the young guys come up, and I don't think that Punk would be opposed to being able to be in this spot where he now is the hunted, and young guys are coming after his head because
Yeah.
it's an old thing, right? Like, can you still go, old man? Type thing. So, we'll see what happens, man. But I think we have garnered up enough interest in WrestleMania to be able to see if we can enjoy ourselves for these next 2 days. You're going to have a very, very busy week as well ahead of you.
I am. As a matter
and
of fact,
we-
I'm going to be
and
watching Mania in some style.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the shameless plugs.
Oh, you want Sheamus's plugs? Is that what you're?
Sheamus's plugs.
These are
plugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, those of you that will be out in Las Vegas WrestleMania week, first off, come to the best damn independent show that's going to happen that week, and that, of course, is Relentless Pro Wrestling's Sin City Slam, Friday at 5 p.m. at the world-renowned FSW Arena, the Future Stars of Wrestling Arena, where my man, the 7-foot anomaly, Alex Ace, being led by the Conscience Christian Rosenberg with these new T-shirts. We are going after that SoCal Heavyweight Championship with the element of surprise, Mako O'Shea. Plus, J-Rod from American Gladiators is there. Danica Bloodwind, EJ Sparks, maybe honestly, pound for pound, the most athletic wrestler on the West Coast at this moment. You have to see him to believe him. Gino Rivera, 5-star Raymond Bright, Angel Pureheart, Bad News Bagu, and others will be on the show. It's really can't miss show. Come check it out. Of course, your boy is involved in the main event. Then, if you're in Vegas for WrestleMania, but you're not going to WrestleMania itself because there's a third of you that are not there this year like there were last year, well, you know what? A chunk of you should go to the Plaza Hotel and Casino because I will be hosting the watch-alongs there both Saturday and Sunday. And on Saturday specifically, we will have a sit-down live interview that I will be hosting with WWE Hall of Famer Rob Van Dam. There will be opportunities for you to ask questions as well as meet and greet to get photos with him. There's going to be a raffle of some kind going on. And then we're all going to be just sitting relaxed in air conditioning, watching WrestleMania. It will be an absolute blast there. And then if you're wanting to have some late night entertainment as well, of the kind that you do not tip with $1 bills.
We love those.
Which actually, I'm not going to stop you from doing that if you chose to at this show either. But you can go to the Improv Extravaganza comedy show of Yes and Wrestling with the Good Brothers, Nyla Rose, Johnny TV, Dan Barry, and me. I will be hosting and performing that along with some other great wrestling personalities and improv comedians such as Emily May, Martin Morrow, amongst others. We will be on stage. All these guests are going to be sharing random stories from the road, and we're going to improvise scenes based around those stories that are being told. So we have no idea what's going to happen. You have no idea what's going to happen. The only way you can find out is by getting tickets. By the way, all these flyers, if you had to pause the video to go back to each one, they all have QR codes where you can get your tickets off them, or you can look up Yes and Wrestling and the Relentless Pro Wrestling on eventbrite.com. Plaza watch-alongs, go to Plaza Hotel and Casino.com to get your tickets there. And for the improv show, we have general admission and VIP tickets available. The VIP tickets will get you first 2 rows plus post-show meet and greet and photos with the Good Brothers and Nyla Rose, which those at other shows or WrestleCon, you got to pay more money for that.
Absolutely.
But you can get it cheaper with us. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then I'll be roaming around at various wrestling events, saying hi, shaking hands, kissing babies, that whole deal. And, you know, if you see me, tell me hello. I will say hello back, which it's funny because literally I was going to tell you, yesterday, I was just at my local grocery store, just picking a few things up. And then I get home and I randomly have this DM and I'm just like, I don't know who this is. What is it? It's like, Christian. And I look up the pro, it's some kid. You know, Christian, I saw you at Vaughn's, but I was too shy to say hello. I was just like, aw, there's a kid who recognized me.
And wanted to say something to you because he thought you were a big deal.
Yeah. And so, you know, I made sure I replied and said, never be shy. Always come by and say hello.
Yeah, I feel bad for the kid because he thinks you're a big deal, but you know.
I mean, granted, I probably, if I saw the kid, I probably would have just like kicked him or something. But
you would have Ted DiBiase'd him with the basketball.
Well, I don't have $100 to tease him with.
You give him $1. Dribble this basketball for $1.
But so I hope to see you all in Vegas. I'm gonna have a blast there. Barry's just gonna be sitting at his home in New York, watching everything unfold. And then we'll be back next Wednesday, I'll say, because I don't get back until I come back Tuesday and go straight to a Championship Wrestling from Hollywood taping.
Wow.
So yeah, it's Wednesday. I will be doing the show and I will be exhausted.
Absolutely. I will definitely be in the A chair while Josh is going to try to find the energy to stay awake. So we'll be fine. You know, be a lot of stuff for me to entertain you with. Hopefully.
Well, and speaking of staying awake, right now, we've been recording this live. It's about 3 a.m. where you live.
Yeah, 1 minute, it's about to be 3 o'clock. And this is how you know that dedication is all in my bones. Okay, I am dedicated to this. I love wrestling. I love speaking about wrestling. I love talking to my friend about wrestling. We will continue to do this show. I don't give a damn how late it gets. Especially, I'm thinking, I don't know, you know, maybe we start reviewing some AEW pay-per-views. That would be suicide. I won't do that because we would literally be here for 4 hours, and I am not into that. Not into that. I like the shows, but I can't do the previews or the reviews. I just can't do it. Can't do it.
I'm definitely down to talk AEW. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought they had a great pay-per-view yesterday in Dynasty.
Yeah, I've heard good things. Good things.
I thought it was overall a very, very good show.
Yeah. And MJF, I love MJF. I think he's great.
Salt of the earth.
Yeah, one day I hope that he walks through those WWE doors, but we'll see. This is a good show. I am going to dive into my bed now.
As you should.
You know.
I mean, granted, it's midnight for me. I should be diving into my bed too.
You know, it's midnight. I wish it was midnight. I stopped. Listen, I don't start operating until like 12:30 every night.
Hey, how about this? We started this episode with you saying good morning, and I said you're in the future.
Yeah.
And now I've caught up to you.
Yeah. And I'm deeper into the morning. So
yeah.
It is what it is. Hopefully, sir, we get a good SmackDown because this go home Raw was you know, there was not a lot to it, but again, we got what we needed out of it, right? And I think that Triple H realized that too. Listen, we got a lot of fodder, so let's just highlight the 3 matches that we want to make sure that we highlight. Stephanie.
Well, we're going to get one more McAfee promo.
Right. And that is going to be Like what people don't realize that these last two SmackDowns, they are in the top 3 in worst SmackDown ratings in history, and there's a
Yep.
reason behind that. So
Mm-hmm.
there's no Randy that can save this. Hulk Hogan can jump out of the grave right now and rip his shirt off, and it wouldn't matter. People still wouldn't watch this show. Um, it's just dead. It's SmackDown is dead, and I think it needs to die a very quick death at WrestleMania, so they can be able to just start over and forget any of this happened. That's just the way. Like that's the beauty about the Raw or the SmackDown after WrestleMania, right? Is that you can be able to start over and build again because this was garbage. So you crumple it up, you throw it in the wastebasket, and you keep pushing forward. So till
There you
Friday,
go.
until Friday, we watch that SmackDown, and I'll be chiming in with you in regards to what the hell you're doing in Sin City.
Well, because while SmackDown is live, so I mean, if you're in Vegas, you should just be DVRing SmackDown because
Yes,
while that's happening, my 7-foot anomaly Alex Ace is going to be busy winning the SoCal Heavyweight Championship.
it's so crazy that
Also, I noticed the other day, it got released. You interviewed Christian Rosenberg.
that guy's a jerk.
He
I
really
was
is. How did you put up with him?
All I did was ask questions, and he was literally just throwing ad hominems at me. Like, what? I didn't do anything. I was just asking questions.
Were you like bribed? Was like the owner of Relentless Pros, Billy Bonds, did he like tell you certain questions to ask him to get under
No,
his skin?
no, I was just asking the questions that the fans wanted to know. Why do you have the championship? Why do you think that Alex Ace is going to win? If Alex Ace does not win, does he blame you for taking the title?
Well, not me. You're talking about that's what you said to Christian
I'm
Rosenberg.
saying, like, I'm just talking in general. Like, does he
Okay.
blame you? As like, you know what I mean? Like, that, that in itself is the questions that I was asking Mr. Rosenberg.
Yeah.
He got offended. If you're getting offended at questions, then there's something wrong with you.
From what I've heard, he definitely has some anger issues. So.
He's very, very, he's very passionate
Mhm.
about, his 7-foot anomaly, and I understand it. But at the end of the day, karma is a hell of a thing that you go ahead and you go poke the beehive or whatever it is. Like if the bees come out and sting the hell out of you, then you got nobody to blame but yourself. So, we'll see what happens. But I just hope that Mr. Rosenberg does not get a fist in his face at Cincinnati Sam because I think that's very, very possible.
Oh, I don't know. If I know him, I feel like he would have a plan up his sleeve if something like that were to occur.
I would hope so because he's a very, very intelligent guy, but he's kind of maniacal as well. So, we got
Oh
to
no! Oh, he's an absolute jackass.
yeah.
But a
I don't
smart
think
one.
I'll interview him again because he was just very mean. Just there's just no reason to do that to me.
I don't think he wants you to interview him again. From what I got from that video,
It's just terrible, absolutely terrible. You try to be nice to people, but some people you just can't save. Okay, some people just want to be douchebags and they just want to go ahead and just be bad. It's fine. I will try to be as objective as possible on this show. Whoever I speak to, I'm gonna go ahead and do it the right way and call it down the line. And if people don't like it, then tough shit. All right, but I am looking forward to SmackDown. I'm looking forward to WrestleMania weekend. Me and the wife will be watching because she's now a fan of Obafemi, and it's great. So I'm going to her to try to do the Ober strut while he's coming out, so I can record it and embarrass her. So
yes.
it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Any final words, sir?
The final words are go to bed.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the fact
that's the final words.
I have a ton of energy. It's crazy. Till next week.
Adrenaline will die down and you will pass out
as
very
soon as
soon.
this comes off, the lights come off. It's just like,
Yep.
Yeah. So till next week, Next week, Wednesday, we'll be back. Stay safe. Stay cool. Peace.